Hey there, everyone. This is ID Jester, and yes, I am finally back. To be honest, the reason I've been gone for a while from creating videos is the videos that I was creating before with my old computer and old monitor, all the time and effort that I spent, and I just felt I was not getting a very good return for all that effort and time. And so I decided that the best thing for me to do was stop recording them and to get a new computer, a new monitor, and see if I could get some better settings so that I can create some better quality videos. So I ordered a computer, which I received and set up and configured, and then found out the computer was not working properly. So I had to send it back to the company, had to get them to refund my money, which took another 3 weeks, and then order another new computer, which took them a couple weeks to build and configure, and had them send that to me, which I finally did get and arrive and configure. And I've posted some game videos out there, and so far I am totally thrilled with the quality that I am now getting. I'm actually able to record at 1920 by 1080 and with excellent quality settings, and it's not lagging or freezing the game at all. And it seems with my new widescreen monitor, which is really going to help be able to see a lot of the Vassal maps and record things in widescreen, which is definitely a much better aspect ratio. So all in all, I'm very happy with the quality of the videos that I'm starting to put out, and hopefully those of you who are watching my videos that have enjoyed them in the past, and even though they haven't not been up to what I would call excellent standards, hopefully I can moving in the right direction and can start creating things where it's easy to see, easy to read, easy to understand what's going on. There's more area to see, everything's clear, and hopefully we'll be able to create videos that will be much more enjoyed by my viewers. So this video is actually for all my advanced squad leader buddies out there. I've noticed on Board Game Geek and some of the other websites on the internet that there's always some questions about how to set up Vassal and how to get ASL working with it. And so I figured, since I'm working on a new computer and I'm setting it up, that maybe now would be the time for me to demonstrate how to get Vassal and how to configure it and how to get ASL working with it and the steps you use for that. It should be noted I am using Windows 7, the newest operating system, so if you're using an older version of Windows, some things might look a little different for you, but hopefully you'll be able to follow along, and hopefully you'll be able to get your ASL working with Vassal quickly and easily as well. So without further ado, let's get to it. First thing we're going to do is we're actually going to go to our Vassal place to get our engine, www.vassalengine.org. Your screen should look similar to this. I am using Internet Explorer, the latest version, so if your screen looks a little bit different than mine, you should see something similar to it. What we're going to do is we're actually going to download the Vassal 3.1.18, which is the newest version. It should be noted that Vassal is free open source software and is created by volunteers. I would thoroughly encourage you that if you use the product, you download it and try it, and you continue to use it, that you send them a few dollars and let them know that all their time and effort that they have done to create the program has not been in waste, and that is how we can get a better program out there and continued support, and have them know that all their effort and time that they do to create this program is not in vain. So definitely, highly recommend that you donate. Donate as much as you can, a few dollars or whatever, just to show them, hey, we appreciate all the effort, because you will get hundreds and hundreds of hours of free time with this program, which you don't see often, where you have such a little invested to get so much in return. So highly, thoroughly recommend donating whatever you can. Well, back to our download. Let's download Vassal. We're just going to put our mouse on there, and we're going to highlight download Vassal 3.1.18 for Windows. We're going to click on it, and it should take us to another page. You notice it's going to start like a little countdown clock. And for Windows 7 users, a little message down here at the bottom will come up. And we're just going to click the Save button. While it's saving, some of you older versions of Windows might come up with a Save dialog box. You want to go to a folder or your desktop or somewhere you know where you're going to save it to. So, because you're going to need the file when it's done. So, I would highly recommend maybe just downloading it to your desktop so that way it's easy to find. Once you install the program, you can then delete it, delete the download. You won't need it anymore. So if it's on your desktop, it's easy to find, easy to install, easy to delete. For Windows 7 users, if you just use the default, it's going to download into your downloads folder. You can just simply get there from your start button to your documents. And when your documents come up, you should see a download in there. And if everything's set up and working right, you should see Vassal 3.1.18 for Windows, or a file similar to this. Might not be a large icon like I've got set up for large icons. You might have a medium icon, or it might just be a list icon, or it just might be a details. Could look anything like that. So the main thing is you finish downloading the actual engine, and now we're going to double click to install it. For Windows 7 users, you might get a little message, verification to let this program install on your computer. I actually had to turn that off because every time that message came up, my video recording software would shut off. So this is about the third or fourth tutorial I've tried to do before I realized that was what was causing the issue. So if you get a little message asking you if this program can make changes to your computer, to say yes, and we'll get into the Vassal setup. We're just going to click the next button. I would highly recommend that when you get to this part here, you're going to choose your setup options. I always choose the custom option. If you just want to leave it as standard, you can, but I would recommend custom, and I'm going to show you why here in a minute. We're going to go to next, and you'll see the default for Windows 7 is your program files x86 / Vassal 3.1.18 folder. For XP users, I believe the default is just program files / Vassal 3.1.18. I would like to install it where I want it to install, so I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm just going to go into my C:\Vassal, and I also like to keep the number there, 3.1.18. The reason I like to keep the number there is I can always tell then what version I'm running. If a new version comes out, I know, okay, well, I'm running 3.1.18, maybe there's 3.1.19 that came out. So I know I can upgrade, and I know what's in that folder. So you can call it anything you want, Vassal Engine, you can call it just about anything you want. I also install it into my C folder. You might want to install it into a different drive, but for ease, I'm just going to assume that most people are going to install it into their C drive on their computer. And I call the down slash, I'm sure that's not the technical name, but if you look at the V, if you look at a V, the first part of the V going down is the down slash, and the other one going up on the V is the up slash. So I call them down slash and up slash. So that might be able to figure out exactly which key I'm talking about. It's that one right there. And once you get that all set up, you're just going to click the next button. You can choose whether or not to include shortcuts in any of these. That's personal preference. I'll leave them all checked. And I'm going to hit the next button. It's going to ask you to choose a start menu folder. I'm just going to leave all that alone as well. And finally, I'm going to hit the install button. And if you've got a super fast computer like mine, it should be done here in just a matter of a few seconds. When it gets done, it asks you if you want to run Vassal. I'm just going to uncheck that for now and hit finish. And I'm going to then close my downloads folder. And we're going to show you what we've got here. If we go to my computer, let me get rid of this folder because that was from my other video that got crashed. Anyways, here's our Vassal 3.1.18. You should something similar to that inside your Vassal folder. You should have a new icon in your desktop. If you do have a new icon in your desktop, you can delete the other download because you've downloaded it. You don't need that file anymore. You just need the actual icon to run the program. So those of you who are new to Vassal, it's basically two separate parts of the program that work together to run your game or software, whatever you want to think about it as. The Vassal engine part is, think of it as like the engine of your car. It's the part that runs the car, it operates everything, it reads your car and manages everything and stops the car and everything like that. The Vassal engine part is the exact same way in that it is the part that runs your modules. It runs and reads how everything is operated in, and it is the driving force that actually operates your module. Think of your Vassal modules as like what kind of car it is, what color it is, what the makeup of your car is basically the module part. Think of that as the game parts, all the piece parts, all the cards, all the dice roll, or no, the dice rolls is part of the engine. The cards and the little meeples and everything else, the counters, whatever your game you want to play, that is the module part of it. And these two work in conjunction. So now that we've got the engine part, what we need to do is we need to get the actual module. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go back into our main Vassal module, or Vassal engine website, www.vassalengine.org. And you notice up at the very top, you should see some kind of a bar, a menu bar, and you should see modules. And we're going to click on the modules. And it's going to take us to our module page, and you can see there are literally thousands of different modules that are out there. And we could do a sort quite simply to go to the A for Advanced Squad Leader. We're going to scroll down till we find Advanced Squad Leader module, and we're just going to click it. And it should take you to a page similar to this. And you notice there is an actual download here, but it gives you a link to find the Vassal module. So we're going to click on the link here, and it's going to take us to another web page This is www.advancedSquadLeader.net/index.php/Vassal_mods. So you could just type that in if you didn't want to go through the links, or if your link isn't working, you can just type in this in your browser, and it should take you to a page like this. I always like to get the newest and best version number. So right now it looks like Vassal 5.92 is the most recently released version. So that's the version we are going to get. And so we are going to download Vassal 5.9.2. We're just going to put our mouse on that link and click it. And if we're going to hit the Save As button. Again, it should default to your downloads, or if it doesn't, you can just click on your desktop wherever you're comfortable with downloading it. Make sure you know where you save it. We're going to hit the Save button. It's going to download. If that doesn't work, you can always right click it and go down to Save Target As, and then it's going to bring up the same dialog box. So you can save it wherever you want. If you're clicking it, it doesn't come up with that little message. Alright, so we're going to have that. And I'm just going to minimize this window, get it out of the way. And we're going to go back into our Documents folder, and we're going to find our Vassal version 592. Now, again, yours might look a little different based on whether you got it in list mode or large icons, small icons, whatever. But it's basically what they call a zip file. You can see it's a folder with a zipper on it. So you need to open up that folder and get out what's inside the folder. So in this case, we're just going to double click, and it's going to take us inside of the Vassal 592 file, and you'll see that there's only one file inside of it, and it's a VASL file. Now that is your actual module that you're going to use to run ASL. So I want to show you how I do this, and you can do it any way you want, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into my computer, and I'm going to go to C drive, and I'm going to create a new folder by either clicking New Folder or by right-clicking the white area and just going to New and then going to Folder. And I'm going to type in Vassal mods, Vassal mods. So I've got a new folder, and I'm going to start keeping all my Vassal modules inside of that folder. The reason I don't keep my Vassal modules inside of my Vassal my Vassal engine folder is if this folder ever becomes corrupt, or I want to uninstall it, or if I want to upgrade to a new version. All my modules and stuff are going to be inside Vassal 3.1.18. You can run into a lot of problems with that. So what I do is I create a new folder called Vassal Mods, Vassal Modules, whatever you want to call them. And then inside of Vassal Modules, I'm actually going to create another folder. And this folder is going to be called ASL, or whatever your program is. If you have one, maybe you're downloading for Combat Commander, or Paths of Glory, or whatever board game you're trying to play, you're just going to create a folder for that. Conflict of Heroes. You can have all your different modules, folders, inside of your Vassal Mods folder. So these are subfolders inside of your Vassal mods folder. So now it's simple. All I have to do is take my downloaded Vassal 592 file that I've already opened. I've got my Vassal module there, and all I'm going to do is take that. I'm going to put that file inside of ASL. So all I have to do is left click on it and then right click and drag it, and as long as I hold my right mouse button down, it's just going to move with my right mouse button. So I'm just holding my mouse button down, moving it around. All I have to do is bring it up into my ASL folder, and I can let go of my right mouse button, and it's going to ask me to either copy here or create a shortcut here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it there. So that way I have a backup copy of it. In case something happens, I still have a backup copy. So if we go inside of our ASL folder, that's not the way it should have worked. Let's try that again. Vassal mods, ASL. Not sure how pictures got into that. Let's try just copy here. There we go. I think because I was dragging it around, it might have grabbed other folders from other things when I was just right clicking and dragging it. So be a little more careful than what I was doing. You just want to take that. You can just take it and put it on your desktop, and then once it's on your desktop, you can drag it in there and copy it into your folder. And I'm just going to get rid of the pictures folder so we don't get messed up. Okay, so we can then just close our zip file that we had opened. Remember our zip file? We can just close that window down. And now what we do is we have our Vassal modules, which is a separate folder from our Vassal. Inside of Vassal modules, we're going to list all of our different modules we want to collect here. And inside the Vassal ASL folder, we're going to put our ASL mod into that folder. Now mine says MPEG because it doesn't know what this module actually is, when it should be used to be read with, so it's just defaulting to an MPEG. It's not an actual MPEG like you're going to read like a movie or anything. It's not that. It's just the way the computer's set up to read the file. It doesn't know what kind of file it is, so it's going to try and bring up the Windows media player to try to view it, which it won't do. It won't work because it's not an actual video. So just ignore that, the way the icon looks. Alright, so there we go. We've got our two parts. We've got our Vassal module engine, and we have our Vassal module gameplay. We're just going to delete that off the desktop so that doesn't confuse anybody. Okay, so now that we've got these two, we can actually start up Vassal and get it working and see what happens. So you should get something similar to this. Vassal. It says download a module and open the file menu. And it shows you many modules can be found at the www.vassalengine.org. What we're going to do to open our Vassal module is all we're going to do is go to File, and we're going to go into Open Module, and it's going to ask us, okay, well, where are this module that you want to open? Well, for us, it's very easy. We know where all of our modules are. It's going to be in the C drive, and it's going to be in the Vassal mods folder. That's where all of our modules are going to be. So we're going to double click that, and then we're just going to simply choose which one of our modules we're going to open. In this case, we're going to open ASL, and we're going to click on the module, and we're going to hit open. And if everything goes right, it should pop up with a little welcome menu for the ASL. In here, you're just going to type in your real name and your password. Basically, from what I understand, passwords are nothing more. You don't even need to remember them. All it is to make sure that you are a different person than the person you're playing against. It should be noted that if for some reason your password conflicts with somebody else's password, at least in a previous version of Vassal, I don't know if they fixed this or not, you can run into issues. I actually was setting up Vassal with one of my good friends and walking him through the phone what to do step by step by step, and I just told him to use a password. I gave him my password, and we tried to connect. We couldn't connect together. We were having some issues. He just simply changed his password, and then we didn't have that issue anymore. So I think the password, all it does is actually tell you to make you a different person than someone else. It doesn't ask you for your password again, so it's not something you have to remember. I would just try to recommend you make it unique, and that's something nobody else would use, so that way you don't run into the same issues. We're going to put that in. We can look for a game online, we can start a new game offline, or we can load a save game. For just simplicity stakes, we're going to start a new game offline. We're going to say next, and we're going to select your board. You're going to notice that there are no boards located within the actual Vassal module. So that's the next thing we're going to do, is we're actually going to set up our boards so that way we can then have them. So in this case, we're just going to hit cancel. We're not going to actually go into it, and we're just going to close the program down, and we're going to close it all the way down. Alright, so we got our Vassal engine, we got our ASL module. Now we need to get the piece of parts to work inside our module, and in this case there are the map boards are not inside of this module, and I think the reason is because there are so many map boards. It would just be a humongous download for people, and it would scare some people off from downloading it because it would be so big. So I'm going to show you how to get them. What we're going to need to do is go to this website. I think it's linked from the Board Game Geek website, or I think you can just type in Vassal Map Bazaar from like Google search. Will probably bring up the same page. It's actually quite an actual link to there. It is, if you want to know, https://docs.google.com document blah blah blah. There's quite an actual link to it. But like I said, probably the easiest way is just type in Vassal Map Bazaar. In fact, let's do that and see if it comes up. Just make it a little easier for people. Okay, here we go. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't getting killed there. Okay, not sure what the problem is there. Like freaked out again. Let's try again. Bring up our Google. Go to Vassal Map. Alright, and if we do that, if we click on the link here, it'll actually take us to this page, which will then link us back over to this page. There's also probably, there seems like quite a few different links that'll get you there. You just have to find the one that works for you. Alright, once we get to our Vassal Map Bazaar, we're going to, here's all the different boards listed, page after page after page of them. And these are just the default boards, and you can see there's many other miscellaneous boards down here at the bottom. In this case, what I'm going to do is just take boards 0 through 9, and I'm just going to click on the latest version of all those boards. And I'm going to save them again into my downloads folder or whatever folder you normally use. And then we're going to go into that folder. Again, you can see they're zipped up. We have version 5 BDS 00-09 folder with a big zip on it. If we go inside that folder, you're going to see here's our actual map boards 0 through number 9. Now what we have to do is copy those into our special folder. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight them all. You can either just click and drag your mouse to highlight them all, click on the top one, hold your shift key down and hit the bottom one. However you normally select everything. Control A is a shortcut key to select everything. Hold the control key down and hit the A key. Once you got them all highlighted, you're just going to find one of them that's highlighted in blue, and you're going to right click, and I'm going to copy them. Now we just have to put them in the right place. So what we're going to do is go back into our C drive. We're going to go back into our Vassal mods. We're going to go into ASL. And you will see inside of ASL folder, we're going to create, if it's not already there, you're going to create a boards folder. If it's not already there, just create a new folder, call it boards, whatever you want to call it, map boards, whatever's easiest for you. Once you get that folder created, you're going to go inside that folder, and you're going to right click and you're going to paste. And there's all 9 of our map boards that are going to go inside our boards folder. So we got our ASL and we got our boards folder inside ASL. The reason I keep everything separate, again, everything separate than my Vassal engine folder, is so that I can always change these, update these, and it doesn't have anything to do with the other folder. If something happens to the Vassal engine, I can uninstall it, reinstall it, and I can keep all the data that I've got easily. So inside our Vassal folder, which is inside Vassal mods, we got a boards folder. Inside of the folder, we got our 0 to 9. And so now if we go back in and we run Vassal, you'll notice that with the newest versions of Vassal, once you've opened a module, it will then be on your list. So you don't need to find it every time, but it's a good practice to remember how to do it. Click on File, Open Modules. You're going to go to our C drive. We're going to go to our Vassal Modules folder. We're going to find the module we want to open, and we're going to click on the module, and we're going to say Open. And this time, when we start a new game, we should have boards 0 through 9. So if I wanted to start with board number 9, I can resize my window here. I can create, one of the things about the Vassal is how you put the boards together to match your scenario. You'll notice that down in the bottom right hand corner is the number of your map. You can flip it so that it's the other way around, or uncheck flip, whichever direction you need it. Let's say we need number 9 this way with the number 9 on the right hand side. We can then add another row, which will add another board underneath that. We're just going to select another board. We'll say we need number 2. Again, it defaults with the 2 on the left hand side. If we need that on the right hand side, we just hit the flip button and we just hit finish. And you should see that you have 2 map boards with the 9 on the right hand side and the 2 on the right hand side. So since that was pretty in-depth on how to get these map boards, I'm going to just close everything out. We'll get a few more map boards here. Let's get boards 10 through 19. We're just going to click on 10 through 19. Save as. We can save it in our downloads. Hit save. Let it finish downloading. And we're just going to go to our documents, to our downloads folder. And here's boards 10 through 19. Again, it's a zip file. So what you need to do is just take all these all the files, all the pieces of paper. Think of these as pieces of paper that are inside that folder. You want to take all the pieces of paper out of the folder. So we just highlight them all. Control A. Right click. We're going to copy those. And then where we're going to put them, of course, we're going to put them into our C, Vassal Mods, ASL boards. We're just going to right click and hit paste. You can also hit Control V as in Victor. V is also paste. So there's lots of different ways to do it. So you can see our boards folder is starting to fill up with lots of different boards there. So now we should have 0 through 19. And you can keep downloading more and more boards over and over again. We can download boards 20 through 24. Save as. Save. Go into our documents, downloads. Here's 20 to 24 again, a zip file. Just want to get all the boards that are inside there. We're going to copy them. Where are we going to copy them to? Same place. Vassal Mods, ASL, boards. Right click, paste, or this time I'll hit Control V is in Victor. V is in Victor. Control, hold the Control key down. Hit V is in Victor. Now we got boards 0 through 24, just that easily. And we can verify that by just simply starting up our Vassal module, double clicking. It should bring up our start a new game offline, select a board, and there we have 0 through 24. Quickly and easily. Flip, add another row. It should be noted you can actually add another column, which will put one side by side. We can do it that way as well. Oops, didn't mean to hit that one, but that's okay. Well, let's use board number 5. This one will flip, and we'll hit finish, and there we go. Alright, if your boards didn't show up on your list, what you need to do is simply go up to the file, and you need to go into preferences. When you go into preferences, oops. Alright, there's a couple things you should be looking at. The first thing is this JVM initial heap in megabytes. It defaults to 256. I like to crank that up to 1024. And also your JVM and maximum heap in megabytes. Also change that to 1024 as well. This is where you're actually going to set your board directory. So if you put your board somewhere else other than the way I did it, all you have to do is hit the select button and simply go through the process of finding the folder you're keeping all your boards. So if you go to C drive, and we go into Vassal mods, and we go into ASL, and we click on boards, we hit open. Okay, if you were just keeping your boards in maybe in a different folder, or maybe you were just keeping them maybe you called them map boards, you might have to come in here and just select where those boards are found. Just go to C drive, go to your whatever folder you're keeping your modules, go into your ASL, oops, double click, and then click on map boards or whatever you called it. Hit open if you're running into an issue with your map boards. A lot of people also run a lot of what they call extensions, which are extra programs for ASL within Vassal. To find those proper folders, all you're going to do is click on the Extensions tab. You're going to select it, and you're actually going to go and do the same thing. You're going to find where all your extensions are, where you've got them loaded. So C, Vassal modules, ASL, and maybe you have a folder called extensions. You would just click on that folder to create your extensions as well. So I'm just going to hit cancel there because I don't actually have that. And I'm just going to hit cancel here as well. No, I'll hit OK now. Okay, here's your name and your password. So if you run into problems with running into, if I play with another player named Kirk, it's going to check our password to make sure our passwords are different so we're not the same person. So if you're running into an issue, you can always just come in here, change your password. Again, you notice that when I logged into it, it never asked me for my password again. You also have an option in here that some people like. I'm just a matter of finding it now, where you can adjust the color of your text. But what I'm looking for is, here's your chat window. Here's all the chat window stuff's here. I think it's under general. Is whether or not use combined application window. I think that's it, where you can actually keep your window for your map separate, and it's not it's on a different plane than your main board. I think that's the option you would check right there, and then you restart it. Let's try that. So let's shut this down. Bring up Vassal again. This time I'm just going to start an easy one with map board 4. Alright, you see, yes, that was the checkbox. Because now your map is not hooked to your other part of your program. So you see your map is actually its own little window. So if you have two monitors hooked up, you can slide your map over your other monitor, and then you have your chat window and everything else on one screen, and you have your map on another screen. So that was in the preferences. Use combined application window. Just check or uncheck that. I like to keep my map together with everything, so I like to keep it all on one screen. It's easier for me to see everything that way. And we're just going to bring up Vassal and start a new game. Select board 3. It doesn't matter. You notice now I can't move my map. It's stuck right where it's at. I'm trying to move it and it just won't do anything. So it's basically locked into place. I can't do anything with it. Some people like it one way and some people like it the other. So I can quickly and easily show you that difference. Now, the reason I did all this, and maybe it's a little more complex than that, is because you will notice before I got rid of my other computer and threw it in the corner because it's a piece of crap. I made a backup of everything, all my important files and everything, and you notice that if I go into my backup mods, you notice here I've got all my different modular folders for my other computer. So for me, all I need to really do is take my Vassal stuff, and here's all the stuff that I had in there from before, all these files and everything. All I have to do is take my Vassal, and I can just copy that, and I'm just going to take it and put it inside of my Vassal mods folder, and I'm just going to paste it in there. So now I've got my VASL, which has got a whole bunch of other stuff. So when I open my Vassal module, I can actually say, okay, now I want to go in and open a module. This time, instead of opening ASL, what I'm going to do is just go into my C drive. I'm going to slide down to Vassal mods. I'm going to find my Vassal, and I'm going to find my Vassal module, and I'll hit open. And if everything worked right, I'm going to start a new game offline, and you will notice in here I've got, I have to select my boards folder because it's trying to read the wrong folder for my boards. So I have to go into C, and I have to go into Vassal mods. This time I have to go into VASL, and I have to click on those boards and hit open. And it caused an error, which is okay, I think. Preferences, let me just see if it changed it. Yep, it did. Okay. So I'm going to go into my VASL stuff. I'm going to select my boards. Nope, still didn't read it right. Let me just double check what I did there. C Vassal mods VASL boards. Okay. Alright. Probably freaking it out because of that ASL stuff that's in there already. Let's see if it changed it this time. Nope, still didn't change it. It's what I have to do, I think, is let's remove that. Okay, file, open module, VASL. Might still be a little freaked out, but we'll see. Yep, still, I'm sure there's a way to fix it. I'm just trying to think of it, and this is the best way for everybody to learn. Select, let's go in and manually select our Vassal modules, VASL boards, open. Okay. Maybe I can't do that without it freaking out. Well, I'll tell you what I can do. Maybe I got some stuff saved in this VASL that's a little freaked out. Alright, so what I can do is I can take my boards folder, though, and I can copy that. And I can actually copy that into my new Vassal ASL stuff, and I can overwrite what's already there. So I've got all my boards that I had saved from before, which you can see is a huge list. And now when I go into Vassal, let's see if it reads it, which it should. Well, of course not. Vassal mods, ASL boards. Okay. See if I can get this to pop up right. Maybe I've got something bad in that old folder that's causing the new version to freak out. Well, this might be good for other people that might be having the same issue to see what I do to fix it. And then you'll know the answer. So that's always a good thing. Let's go back to our preferences here. Vassal mods, ASL boards. Okay. So now what I'm just going to do is go into our Vassal mods, ASL boards, and I'm just going to delete everything in there. Okay. So if I delete everything that's in there, then all I have to do is quickly and easily bring back in the ones from the new ones. Alright, let's see if that freaks it out. Open module. This time we're going to go into ASL Vassal. Wonder if the new version won't work with some of the stuff that I had saved. So yeah, there we go. We're back to square one there. So there you go. It's just a matter of getting the proper boards with the in the proper folder. If you're having issues, go into your preferences. Using combined application windows, select your boards here. Find your boards directory. Another big thing here is display delay before automatic stacking option in milliseconds. So it defaults to 500. Basically what that means is when your mouse over something, how long do you hover over it before it pops up things. Some people like to set that really low. Other people like it really high because they don't like it popping up. So just for, let's just put a couple things here. So basically the delay is when I put my mouse over it, how long does it wait before that little window pops up to show you what's there. So some people don't like it popping up quite so quickly. Other people want it to pop up instantly. So you can adjust that setting. Delay before automatic stack options. Some people like the move marked pieces automatically, or if you want to mark them yourselves, you can uncheck or check that box. So, that's the basics of getting Vassal and ASL working together. You need the Vassal engine, which you're going to install in its own folder. You need the Vassal module, which you're going to install into a default folder for Vassal modules, and then have a list of all your different modules. So that way you can, since I'm having problems with that other folder, that other issue that I had saved from my old computer, I can go in here and I can take it and I can delete that folder, and it doesn't have anything to do with Vassal module engine. It doesn't have anything to do with any other folders. They're all separate. So that's all good in that they all relate to one another, but they're all in their own folders and they're all separate. So now that I've deleted that other folder, I can work on creating a new folder, which is what I was doing here. I can create it with boards, where you can go and download all the boards. And once you get all your boards installed, then you're just going to come in and open a module, find your module, find the folder, find the actual module, hit open, or use one already on the list, And when you start a program, you should then have all your boards in there. One thing I'm going to try before I let you go and see if this freaks it out, which it might, but I actually have a whole bunch of extensions loaded, and I'd like to show you what those are. So what I'm going to do is go into my old, let's copy that. I'm going to go into my old file that I had saved, and I'm actually going to create an extensions folder inside of my ASL folder, and now I'm going to see if I can get my extensions to work. And Vassal, I'm going to show you how to do that really quickly. Alright, start a new game. I'm going to select the board, finish. Okay, you notice right now I've just got about 18 or 20 icons here at the top. Now I want to try and load my extensions. So I'm going to go to File, Preferences. I'm going to go to Extensions, and I'm going to select my C drive. And from there, I'm going to go into my Vassal modules. I'm going to go to ASL, and there's my extension folder. And we're going to hit OK. Alright. You notice now, there's a lot more icons. In fact, let me restart it one more time just to see if I can get them to come up again without any glitches and errors. I think the problem was I've got a board I have some of those very advanced and different boards, and I'm wondering if one of them is corrupting things in that boards folder. Finish. There we go. So there's all my new icons. You notice all the extensions add new things that you can use inside of your Vassal module and inside your Vassal engine. So the original ones are still there, but there's also a lot of other extensions that'll let me do other things with a little. Basically, think of an extension as an extra piece or part that you add to your car. So if you wanted to have a spoiler, and you would buy that separately from your car, and then you would install it, or maybe you want to have a 6-track DVD player that you want to install into your trunk of your car, or whatever. These extensions are basically the same thing. These are other things that'll add more components into the game that you can actually use. And you can see here I've got quite a list of things that are being loaded extra here, including some of the extra units here, some of the extra counters. The Swedish, I think Hungarians and Swiss aren't. I think these are extra. Some extra aircraft, the Omaha Beach counters, and the World War I counters. I mean, there's just a lot of new things. 3 dice rolls as opposed to just a 1 or a 2 dice roller. And just a lot of other extensions. Half of these I don't even know what they are. I've gotten from other people online and just from running out and doing a search for extensions on the internet. Vassal extensions for ASL. So that's the extensions. Again, the boards should be able to, if you save your old boards, should be able to copy and paste those into your boards folder. And if not, it just takes you a few minutes to download them. You can see how quickly and easily we can do these. Actually, I can just hit the open button here. It'll actually open the file for me so I can do the process even quicker. And you can see, there's 5 boards I got there in just a few seconds. I can do the same thing here. Let's do boards 40 to 49. I'm just going to open them. Let's Still waiting on it. Guess I'm going too quick for it. Let's open it. Here's 40 to 49. I can just copy them, highlight them, copy them, go to my boards folder, right click and paste. Here's boards 40 to 49. So hopefully you're able to watch this video a little bit, get the general gist of how to get the map boards, how to get Vassal, how to get everything installed and working together. Hopefully you won't run into too many issues. If you're running into issues, I would post on some of the websites and see if you can get some help. It's not that hard. Probably just going to go in and into your whatever module you're opening. If you're running into issues, if your maps aren't showing up, you want to just go into your preferences here, select your map board directory. If you got extensions, you want to go into your extensions folder, and some of the other general preferences that you can adjust. Make sure you take your heap up, and some of the other options you can look at. So hopefully that was a good tutorial on how to get ASL and Vassal working together in one group. And hopefully the quality of the video was excellent. And if you enjoyed this video, please do at Board Game Geek under the Advanced Squad Leader. Please go there and give me a big thumbs up so I know that I have some people out there that appreciate all the time, trouble, and effort. And if you spend a few minutes doing that, then I'll spend a few minutes making some more videos to help you out. Well, until next time, until our next adventure together, I hope you appreciated this, and we'll talk soon. This is ID Jester signing off.